All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third episode of the CG Sit Down with your hosts, Lane Hebert,
Chloe Weedle,
and Andrew Prieb.
Today, we're joined by a special guest,
Treva Prieb.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. You may notice we're in a different setting this time. We're at the Canton Township Carnegie Library, and this is where Treva works. So
Treva, tell us what you do at the library.
Okay, well, I'll just kind of walk you through some things that we do here. I am privileged to be the newest librarian here. I've only been here since August, so it is a very new experience for me. However, I got to come in once the library has been completely remodeled and expanded. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm responsible for the daily running of the library as well as the upkeep of things that we do. So some things that I'm working on right now, we have a children's department here, and which is a huge passion of mine is children's literature. I'm previously a preschool teacher, so I think they've got the right person in the job for this. I am working on ordering new books and getting children's classics in here and revamping our entire children's section. So I spend some time each week. I will pick a theme that I'm going to do for our story time that we have on Saturdays, and I will pick out books and research them a little bit and then put together a little story time for our area children. And then I actually each week post a video of a read aloud for anyone to enjoy. It's on our Facebook page, and it's also on a YouTube page. So I do that. What else do I do? I am ordering books for adults who come. Some services that we offer here at the library. We have clubs here. So once a month, there is a club called Stamping Up. And these ladies get together and they create cards and scrapbook type things. That is, I can't remember the exact day they do that, but they do that once a month, and it is quite a large group who come to do that. There's also a book club where monthly the group of people, they pick a book, and then they get together and they discuss the book topic. Then they do that here. We also have something called Carnegie Kids, which is for the neighborhood kids to come, and it's usually in the evening, and there's a snack and a craft and an activity for them to do. However, we have not been able to do that yet this year, thanks to COVID. So some things have changed. There's so many things that we want to be able to do, but we're limited because we want to keep everyone safe. So after we are over this pandemic, I will say that you want to keep your eye out for a lot of new and exciting things that are going to be here for the library. I think that the libraries kind of get a bad rap because people think that it's a dying thing, and because you can look everything up on your phone or on your iPad or what have you, that you don't need to go into a library. But one of the things that I've noticed in my 3 short months here is that we are more than a library for a lot of people who live in this town. And we're a safe place. We're a warm place. And the kids come here after school. They use our computers to do their homework. They use our Wi-Fi. I've noticed times when we're not open, there'll be kids around the building using the Wi-Fi. So we are providing a service. We do have people who come in from who live here in town to use the computers to apply for jobs. I've had to help people with resumes before, and I've just been here for 3 months, so it's just barely getting tapped into the things I think that we'll be able to do. Each month we have a speaker that comes in or a topic. We had a famous Kansas author who was here last month, and that was a big crowd, and she did a book signing. She just released a new book, and she was here. This Sunday we have the history of baseball is the topic, and I know you guys kind of got to see the library just a little bit, and maybe you'll be able to show your viewers our humongous TV that we have.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have the speaker. He's talking about the history of baseball, and he will be here. And I know there'll be stuff it'll be virtually through the Kansas historical site. That'll be neat. We're looking for something somebody to do something in December. But I know in February we have a guest speaker coming who is actually your great aunt. And they're coming in, or Andrew's great aunt, Judy Hill. She'll be here to discuss the orphan train. And there's a museum in Concordia, Kansas with that. And she's helped author books and a lot of insight there. So our monthly topics they're topics that range from all over the place. And so hopefully we'll gather interest for everyone who lives in the community, something they'd like to come and see and do. But your library is so much more than books. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I don't like to read. Why do I want to go to the library? There's other things to do. So, and a lot of times kids come in on Saturdays and they game on the computers. And that is something that I think would be super cool over Christmas break. Our huge TV that we have up there, I'd like to have a gaming night for those who game, and you can bring your consoles and sign up ahead of time. And I'm going to be asking the youth to help me with that because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to that, but I think it can be something pretty cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool to bring the whole community together.
Yeah.
That huge TV, I think that could be a success because that room up there is a really great area to do it.
Yeah,
And we're calling that our media room.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that'd be interested in that. And how long ago did the whole renovation take place?
We reopened in August or July, late July. I think we reopened in July.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the construction took quite a while. And sad to say, I didn't have any part of that. We have a board, and these amazing ladies had a vision. And our library, I know I walked you through it just a little bit. We had a beautiful, cozy little library, but it was cozy and it was small, and it did not accommodate our elderly or anyone who might have been handicapped because there was no way for them to get up and down stairs, or even the doors were tiny to get through. And these women, and their men too, had a vision, and they worked tirelessly for years to raise the money and get the grants and get the funding for this library. And I don't think Canton or Galva realizes the treasure that we have here. We really have a neat space. I got the fireplace going today. I have coffee anytime anybody wants to come in. They don't have to come in and read a book. They can come sit out and have some coffee, relax, listen to music, get on a computer. We have games, board games. Kids come in and play games. There's so many things to do.
Because I was going to say, I haven't been here in quite a few years, and just the new area here is easily double the size of the old library.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty nice in here.
It's bright, and now we're just going to work on getting some new books and new materials. And I think one thing that kids or younger people like are the audiobooks, where you can, so I'm working on that, getting some things like that in here.
Yeah.
And we do have an interlibrary. We're able to, if you come in and you can't find the book that you want, we are able to connect with another library and get it. So we have an interlibrary loan, which is nice. You just have to give me a little notice, and we can hunt down what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty dang cool in here, though. Because I like how they incorporated the old library, too, as sort of like there's some pieces of history in there that everybody can go look at.
Yeah, it's like our little own Canton Museum. It's really neat in there.
That's cool. Yeah.
And all of that I would attribute to those women on the board who have just, they had a vision, and they want to keep, one of the main focuses not only is to have something for our community, but they want to keep Canton's history alive.
Yeah.
So, and preserve it. And they call this their treasure, keep our treasure of Canton alive. And that's what they've done upstairs. And you can come walk through and read any of that stuff and look at any of it anytime. And you can also rent out that room. So if you wanted to, I know there's this group of ladies, and they play this game called Bunko.
Oh, yeah.
And they reserve that here. The United Methodist women use it here, reserve the room for their circle, and they have meetings here. So you can, and it's free, which is even better.
So you just have to reserve a spot time for it?
Yeah, you just have to connect with me, and we have a little contract for you to read and sign, just basically saying you'll leave everything as you found it. And that's really all there is to it. And you'll clean up, leave the golden rule, treat it the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And, you can rent that room out. And so if you really wanted to have something with that big old TV, you could rent that space out if you really just wanted it to be for you and your friends and you wanted to do something, you absolutely could. And it doesn't have to be when we're open. One of us will be here to let you in and lock up after you.
So you were talking about like book clubs and stuff earlier. Are those usually older people in the book clubs, or is there different age groups that do it? Or
Right now, the book club is that they are, adults that are in this book club. But I think it would be great to have a junior book club, and even if it's, not little guys, but like I don't want to call you guys juniors because you're not, you know what I mean though. But young adults,
just younger kids.
Young adults.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If anybody ever wanted to start one, they sure can, and we would facilitate the space. And you pick out your book, and I can get them ordered for you and make sure they're here so everybody has a copy.
So maybe this is the video that could spark the interest of somebody to start a youth reading club here, book club.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that happening.
Mm-hmm. So. Now, I'm interested in the baseball speaker. Can you elaborate more on that?
Okay, well, this Saturday at 1:30, there will be a virtual lecture. So it is Kansas baseball from 1858 to 1941, and it'll be presented virtually, so on our big old screen back there, by the Kansas Historical Society from the virtual museum after hours. And there is a man here in Kansas who's written a book about the history of Kansas baseball, and it's him presenting all of this. So it should be really neat. On our Facebook page, I have posted some information about it, and there's a picture of him in one of the really old uniforms from way back when. I don't know if you've ever been to a Royals game and you see the guy who does the wins and he walks across. Mm-hmm. Those were their old uniforms, so you're going to see some of that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat.
You said you've been here for about 3 months, and how has that been with COVID?
A little bit different here because of COVID right now, because you can't do everything you normally would like to do. Is what I mean by can't, I mean as freely. So when the kids come here after school, they can pick one seat and they have to stay in that same seat the entire visit. So they can't jump around. That is just so that we know who was where. If we have to contact trace, it's a lot easier if I know exactly where everybody was. Yeah. So that's one thing. And I believe our numbers are down right now because people aren't just out. We have some families that usually come in all the time. And then as soon as this school started back up, those people quit coming in due to the COVID. And they let us know that that's why they're not in here. And that when things aren't as risky for them because they're high-risk families, that they would be back. Yeah. So I miss their faces. That's a little bit different. But what we do here is we've got some precautions. So everyone who comes in, they will get hand sanitizer. And just last week, we actually have a handless hand sanitizer. So you just stick your little hand into there, and it dispenses the sanitize. And away you go. And then we also got this machine, and it is a sprayer that will spray everywhere, and within 3 minutes it kills all germs and viruses, which is pretty cool. And it's a big long name, and if I could pronounce it I would, but I don't want to butcher it, so I won't. But it looks like a Nerf gun basically. And after the last customer leaves, or not customer, patron, after the last patron leaves, I will spray it around the room and cover every area, doorknobs, where people sat, keyboards, the whole 9 yards. And the library would be completely sanitized for the next morning. Now, before we had that, after anyone would get up and move, or if someone went into the bathroom, or periodically, I would just come around with the Lysol wipes, and I would wipe everything down. And just we're very, very vigilant about that. And we are wearing masks in the library right now, so if you do come in after hours, we ask that you do wear a mask. If you have a health reason why you cannot wear a mask, we just ask that you share that with us and let us know that that's why you don't have one on. But right now, because we have moved back into to the phase 2, we are just taking a little bit extra precautions, and we want to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, which that's probably good.
Yeah.
You guys aren't limiting like the number of people in here or anything, are you?
Right now we're not, but we are limiting numbers on things that we do so that it's not crowded. So for instance, for Saturday for our baseball lecture, we will limit it to 15 people upstairs. And that is just so that everyone could be completely spread out and not have to stress out about it at all. And we will require them to have a mask when they come in. For our story time that we have on Saturdays, we are limiting that to 10 kiddos. We do have it over there on the carpet over there, and there's plenty of space, but 10 bodies is enough because little kids, we get up during circle time, during our story time, and we move and we dance, and they 10 bodies is plenty for little guys. And their parents are usually here with them, so they'll be over in the other half of the library. But they don't have to wear masks during story time.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I'd like to mention, as I told you at the very beginning, that I am new at being a librarian. I'm not new to children's literature, and I'm a big advocate for children's literacy and early childhood. I was a preschool teacher for 20 years, and so it's near and dear to my heart. One thing that I want to make sure that our community is aware of is there's something called the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and it is through the United Way, but Dolly Parton will be giving every child a free book once a month from birth to age 5. And all they have to do is register through the United Way McPherson.org, and they'll get their books. And it doesn't matter if you have 5 kids under the age of 5 in your household. It doesn't matter. Each child receives 1 book a month until their 5th birthday, which is amazing. So that's something I hope that our community will take advantage of, because we all love free, right?
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I hadn't heard about that yet, but
Yeah, it's pretty darn neat.
yeah, that's a good opportunity for people to get books and start learning.